Hello and good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, sim racing enthusiasts, and fellow speed aficionados. Welcome back to the thrilling world of Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's time to fasten your seatbelts and join me as we embark on a long awaited journey that promises to ignite our racing spirits once again. I, Kake, I'm thrilled to be your commentator tonight, along with our veteran ACC driver Masoom and SSJ as our streamer for this exhilarating league race brought to you by IRC. Today marks the beginning of season 7 of this prestigious ACC league, and what better way to kick off the action than at the iconic circuit, the Spa Francorchamps. This legendary track, nestled in the heart of Belgium's Ardennes forest, has witnessed countless moments of racing history and has become a playground for some of the most daring drivers in the world. After 6 months of anticipation, the engines roar back to life and the smell of burnt rubber fills the virtual air. We are about to witness the convergence of over 30 talented drivers throughout the season, each determined to etch their name in the annals of sim racing greatness. The level of competition this time around will be unprecedented as seasoned veterans, rising stars, and newcomers go head to head, battling for supremacy in this adrenaline fueled pursuit of victory. Coming to the race format, we'll be using our old format of racing, beginning with a 10-minute quali session that will be setting up the grid for a 20-minute long race one. And the result of that race will set the grid for the subsequent race two, which will be of 30 minutes. So, friends, buckle up and hold on tight as engines awaken with a thunderous symphony. Get ready to witness a spectacle like no other where dreams are chased, rivalries are born, and history is made. It's time to unleash the excitement and let the virtual rubber run. Let the racing begin.
Thank you, Kake, for
And
that wonderful introduction. And I think it's always good to be back. And I guess quali should be starting any minute.
yep, just sorting out some of the entry list issues, and then we should be underway.
Right.
Yep. So big news. ACC dropping in the free update of the McLaren 720S Evo yesterday night, and of course the whole 1.9 patch. What are your views or interests regarding this, Masoom?
Yeah, I think it's quite a shocker, and it's nice to see that. I mean, Kunos has been on a spree of adding content for the last 1 year right now, and it just keeps on coming, and it definitely keeps the my excitement level up. And on another note, I cannot believe that it's season 7 already. It feels like yesterday that I did my first race, and I think which was season 2.
Yeah, absolutely. The time has flown by quite a lot here since the pandemic started. Probably a lot of seasons have taken place across various platforms, ACC, F1, Dirt Rally, and whatnot. And yes, season 7 is actually coming back after a long, long time, after almost 5 to 6 months. So I think these drivers will be raring to go now.
For small information, guys, the quali still hasn't started. I think we have a bit to go before the session moves forward.
All right. Let's hope they get this issue sorted quickly. And yeah, and I think the last time we raced in Spider was quite a spectacular race from what I recall. Plenty of overtakes and this track, always with its long straights and pretty fast corners. It always creates quite exciting racing almost all of the time. Although there does tend to be a bit of carnage.
Yeah, true. It's as the video showing the bus stop chicane, and of course the routes tend to be two of the hotspots for accidents to occur, as well as maybe Puhon where cars tend to slide off a bit. And with around 4 new cars, I guess 3 new cars in the 1.9 patch, and the McLaren coming in yesterday, so we have 4 new cars. So lots of action and lots of unpredictability throughout the grid. I did see in the practice session going on that there were around 4 Lambos. So lots of people have switched to the Lambo where earlier it used to be just one or two on the grid. With I guess the most iconic one being the Vlish Lambo, because I guess he was the only one who was consistently driving it.
Hey, since you brought about exciting cars, I can't wait to see what kind of exciting liveries are going to be on the track this time. I remember I think season 6 had like a very good variety of a lot of liveries.
Yeah,
And of course,
definitely.
and I'm most excited, looking forward to seeing Prakar's tricolor McLaren.
Yeah, of course, he is making a comeback as well, and he instantly switched to the new McLaren as soon as the update came yesterday.
Yeah.
So he changed his sign up. So yeah, let's see how the McLaren does the job in his hands.
Like he says,
And
McLaren is his first love, in personal circles. That's
yeah,
what he claims,
yep, absolutely.
right?
Uh, yeah, just waiting for the action to begin. The servers will be starting soon, and we will be under quali straight away.
So an interesting note, like compared to the last time we raced at Spa, the cars have actually gained straight line speed. So in the version 1.9 update, I think the drivers are almost 10 kph up by the time I reach Lecombe, and I wonder if that's going to throw some nasty surprises for a few drivers.
Yeah, that very well might be the case because, of course, if you have more straight line speed, you will need to brake slightly earlier as well. Your conventional braking markers might not be, precise. So important how the drivers adapt. Plus, with variations brought in the working temperature of the tires as well. So interesting to see how quickly the tires warm up in this, short 20-minute sprint.
Yep. Oh, that reminds me. Do we have the conditions for today's race? I'm quite interested in knowing. I know that there's not going to be a. It's not going to be a wet race, but I wonder. Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be a bit cold?
Yep, it's gonna be, right in the medium range with the server settings indicating that it should be a track temp of 24 degrees and an ambient of 21 degrees. So it should be fine.
Yeah,
And
but
it's, of course, noon start.
yes, I think what's going to throw a little bit of guys into a bit of a spin might be the low ambient. I think people are going to struggle to get those tires up to temperature, and I think that is going to like give people a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, that is true because tires are quite important. Of course, it's a proper, full-blown sim ACC. So getting those tires up to working temps is quite important. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they manage to do it in a short formation lap.
Yep.
Just heavy braking and everything.
More than the formation lap, I'm more interested in the fact that the quali is so short. I mean, 10 minutes in a lap like Spa, which is a lap which is almost 200, 215 minutes. Like you're talking about, they will barely get a single quali stint in. So, that's definitely
Yeah,
going to throw some people out.
yep. I guess if you fuel in for 3 laps, that's I think three is the max you can get in one go probably because 220 being the average time.
Yep.
That's about 7.5 minutes right there. So you can get in a fourth lap by, just by a whisker. But yeah, I don't quite remember what the session end time would be after quali because that is also plays a crucial part, especially in a longer track like Spa.
Yep.
And yeah, let's see how much. Probably 3 laps is the best everyone can get. So they should be fueled for three and then just go a couple of laps, maybe warm up and then two flying runs.
Yep. And, as they say, actually, historically in Spa, there's always been like one or two drivers who cannot set their optimal lap due to traffic or other reasons. It's quite common from what I recall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Especially coming towards the end of the lap, the Camel Straight and the bus stop. That's where
Right.
you encounter a lot of traffic,
Yeah. Some
and
people are going
that's
to be desperate to start their laps. Some people are, like going to be ending their laps. It's, all chaos, always.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And with our three-class split system with Pro, Silver, and Am, there will be a lot of, hustling going on between probably the pros and the Am drivers, the newer drivers. So that would be quite interesting to see how they make their way across some of these lads on the grid today.
Yep. I wish we had like a grid reveal. It would have been nice if we knew who we're going to meet up against. But anyway, we're going to meet them in quali in a while. And of course, we can't forget. I think the Village is what 3-time champion at this point, or 2 times.
Uh, Probably three is correct because I remember Prakhar and the first one going to Ghost, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Season 1 goes. Second season was Prakha. Third season was you.
Yeah, so
Yep.
three.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
Gavleesh
three,
is has
three on the go.
he has a hat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he is a driver who, for me, is like quite impressive, especially in quali. And I'm just curious to see how much he's gonna like dunk on the guy in P2 because Spa is a really long track, and generally the gaps are like at least like the gaps generally between the drivers are really huge.
Yeah, true. The longer the track, the longer you expect the, intervals to be. And considering the pro class split we have today, even within the pro class, we might have quite a varying group of pace. So it's gonna be interesting to see, and especially with him, with Davleesh switching to the new Lambo, that's gonna be even more interesting to see what he can pull out of that car.
And he's been pretty vocal about in the chat about how the Lambo has changed. In the previous update, the Lambo was known to be a car which was very tricky to handle. Very pitch sensitive, very oversteery. I think what I've hearing about him from him has been that the Lambo is actually quite a stable car now, quite a safe car in comparison to what it was. And I think that makes sense why there are now more Lambos in the uh, server, like in our grid. I think the previous seasons, I think Davleesh was the only Lambo, I believe. I think there was a few guys like what is his name? Sai Prithvi? No, not Sai Prithvi. Yeah, there were a few. One
I,
other
I
Lambo.
remember Mr. Roth running a
Yeah,
Lambo.
Mr. Rot,
Yeah.
and and we had few takers for the Lambo, and I think it's good to see
Yep.
that this season we do have more people going for the Lambo, and of course
Yeah, definitely.
and it would not be wrong to say that the Ferrari 296 is the new BMW.
Yep, quite possible. Although some of the coordinators mentioned that surprisingly there haven't been an overwhelming, sign up for the Ferrari. So we might be in for a mixed grid, but yeah, the 296 is definitely going to be a popular choice. And as soon as we get into the servers, we'll be looking at the choices of cars people have made.
Yep, that's good. I'm looking forward to that. I think I remember the season before we had like so many BMWs, and it just feels like I'm watching a sea of German machines.
Yeah,
It's kind of boring.
yeah, absolutely. The Beamer was just, even I switched to the Beamer for season five, I guess. Yeah, season five after coming in, after driving the McLaren for a couple of seasons. And the Beamer just felt, really stable. It was like driving a cars on rails, just, just going wherever you wanted to go.
Yep, it's like
And,
yeah,
and yeah, go on.
it's like so you're sitting on a nice sofa, like
Yeah,
someone is
absolutely.
bringing the drinks to you. Yep.
Yep. It's built like a tank as well. Doesn't take a lot of damage, unlike the McLaren that just
Oh,
went, kaboom as soon as someone gave it a small tap.
yep.
Yeah, the Beamer's quite affared in the last two seasons, and let's see if there's another car that might be that much popular.
And as we say that, there we go into qualifying. Ooh. And I'm pretty sure, let's see who's first out of the pits. I can see car number 23 and car number 555 are the first ones out of the pits. I'm pretty sure number 23 is Davlish and 555 is Worship the Panda. So I think that's your P1 and P2 from last season going first off the pit lane from the looks of it. Good to see.
Yeah, yep, and we have 31 drivers on the grid. That is really, really interesting. And 31 drivers in a 10-minute quali session, that's gonna be quite spicy, and the track is fast right now. If
Yep.
we take a look on the top right of the screens with Thames being 2020, so yeah, as the track gets rubbered in, the times will drop down towards the end of this small quali session.
Folks, we have a flying chapati on the grid.
Yep.
But do we have, what do you call it? Flying Subzi also somewhere in there?
Don't think so, not here. Meanwhile, the flying chapati isn't flying yet. Stopped just outside the no name corner before no name. Oh no,
Okay.
that's after no name. I'm sorry, I
After
messed up my corner. Yeah,
that's before no name actually.
before no name. Yep.
That is Brussels.
Yep.
I don't know how to pronounce these French names, so this is gonna be an hour of me trying to butcher French names.
And that's
Sorry.
a nice livery.
Oh my God, is this is
This
this
is
Simply
fun.
Whitey?
Yep.
Simply Whitey, it's okay. You can put Simply Whitey. You don't have to name yourself Iceman. We all know you are Iceman.
But yeah, that's simply paying homage to some of our, ACC, IRC people.
Yep. And as
Uh,
we say that, we have Davlish exiting the last corner.
yeah, lots of people on his car right there. Yeah, can we go onward WH SSJ? Let's see how the defending champion carries on the new Lambo.
We could have stayed on to see Nirma's face for longer, but at the point we would like to see a nice lap first, and then we can go back to Nirma's face. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you take a Swiss lap, Masoom?
Yep. And as you can so in the Lambo Evo 2, flat through a ridge, maximizing that track limit, and now he goes down the long camel straight. This feels like it's never ending, but but I think it's not that long as well that you feel like it's never ending like the Monza straight. And then you come into the chicane of Lecombe, right? You take as much of the curve as possible on the right, as much as on the left, and then you come into the exit of Lecombe here, and you don't need to take the curve too much, but it's crucial that you go as wide as you can. Now you're coming into the downhill right of Brussels. Always so tricky, very easy to lock up your tires, even with the ABS. Now coming into No Name, who could have maximized the track on the entry, but very important to maximize the track on the exit. Now coming into the fast left-hander of Puhan, always tricky, taking as much of that entry curve as possible. Now will he go wide as he can? No, keeping it tight. I think both approaches will quite work. Now coming into Pef-Paf, a chicane where it's very tricky to maximize both your entry and your exit. Taking it tight on the entry and opening up the left-hander. Now coming into Stablo 1 and Stablo 2, critical corners as it leads up into the straight, into the long straight of which leads up into Blanchimont. And taking it flat through Stablo 2, it's critical for lap time and going flat. Now he enters the long straight, and now he will be taking Blanchimont flat out. I think he must be cornering at almost 250 kph over there, taking Blanchimont flat out. Crucial to drift out wide and not scrub as much speed as possible. Now coming into the bus stop chicane, brakes hard right after the gantry, taking right, trying to take as much curve as possible on the inside and for the right, and then for the left. You need to maximize your track limit here, and as he crosses the line, what lap time will it be? And it's invalidated.
Was it invalidated at Oruj?
Oh my god, I think, yep. Yeah. And behind him, Panda does a 219.6, and Prithvi has dethroned him with a 218.
Yeah, that's quite a fast time. And Pururao splits the two, goes P3 and 8 cylinders.
And we have 8 cylinders of Fury in P2 with 8 tenths behind Sai Prithvi. So I guess Davlish must be going again now. And in the meantime, there's a huge gaggle of cars at bus stop going over there who are trying to start their laps.
Yeah, that's a lot of traffic, and wow, that's amazing. Can we have a quick look at bus stop? Is it just to see what's the scene going on there? Any car, probably car number 99. Yeah, that's a lot of cars, and with variation within the pace within the groups, a lot of cars will be struggling to get a clean lap right here.
Yep, and who won a silver clause in season 6? I believe it was Pururav.
Season 6, yep, that was Pururav, and he has been promoted.
Oh my god, we have a spin as Heisenberg decides to be uncertain around the track. And
Yep,
and a lot of people still said, I think not even half the grid has set their lap times yet, and you have 4 minutes to go. It's going to be a mad rush into the end of qualifying right now, as 8 cylinders has returned to the pits and is going for a lap again. And as we see, I believe that is SD starting his lap in the Ferrari 296. Let's go flat out through Aruj and Radion.
Yeah, looks like that.
Looks like it. Keeps it clean.
Yeah, that's a stunning car, this 296.
Yeah, and I have to say that livery, although it's one of the base liveries, it's a good combo. Also,
yeah, absolutely. Makes it look quite mean and wide.
Right. Yep. And as we see, we can see Davlish is now completing his lap. Will he be able to dethrone Sai Prithvi? It's a big question.
Yeah, that's gonna be the key here. SD.
SD keeping it tight through no name, trying to. Yep, keeping it tight for the exit as well. Oh, 216 and 6. He has dropped 9 tenths on P2.
My God, that's some gap. 2:16.6 is rapid. He's, very close to those esports time. Probably right there with the esports guys.
At this point, we need a class called the leash.
Yeah, absolutely. The leash is in completely different class. I guess Real SD and Prakhar are the only two other pro drivers left who are yet to set a time. And let's see where he goes. Prakhar sets in a time is 1.3 seconds off the pace and is in P3. I guess it's just Davlish who is in a separate league right now, definitely.
Right. I would expect the McLaren and Porsche. I would expect the Porsche to be a little bit quicker in quali pace, while the McLaren will come into its own life in race pace. But the Evo is like a day old, so we don't know. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how it's gonna evolve.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh,
We
as we
also
see
have
ABD going very
ABD.
wide and Puan.
Yep, we have lots of new drivers this season. Lots
Right.
of, I would say, F1 drivers who are coming into ACC as well. So,
Yep.
gonna be interesting how they transfer their skills across the games.
Yep. I mean, I think it's really good to see a big grid in such a big track.
Definitely.
Yep. Now the question is how many of them make it through Radion without making contact. We will
Yeah,
We
so,
will find out in 5 minutes, I guess.
yep. Just
Oh,
probably not even 5, just 1.5 minutes to go, and I would say that's about 10 drivers left, and probably ABD and Dark Knight will be setting their faster time. So about 12 drivers left to set in a proper time.
as we say that the
And
flying chapati has set a flying lap for AM class.
absolutely, he has sent that McLaren to P8. That's a nice time.
Yep. As we see. Let's go through the livery, shall we? In the meantime.
Hmm.
Or let's
Oh,
just
we
go
can
there.
take a look at the grid they are forming at the
Yep.
grid.
Good
Yeah,
idea. Right. Yep. Ooh, and we can see 23 types lap people have touched the lap so far, and as the Bleach crosses the line again, is he starting a lap or is he
yeah,
finishing his last?
he's starting a lap.
Right, I can see. So you can see two cars approaching very closely through Stablo 1 and Stablo 2, and I suspect that they might be flipping over each other.
Yep, that's Moto, number 31. And who else do we have there? Can we go on board Moto, SSJ? Yeah, let's go.
Oh,
They are racing already in the quali.
it's not race day yet. No, just wait a bit. Oh my god.
Sort of bullies his way through.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice to see Moto in the Porsche. Three Porsches, Sai, Moto, and Worship the Panda. Panda has been quite loyal to the Porsche.
Yep, as I say to Moto, he's finally driving a real car, and
Yeah.
not the McLaren.
But yeah, P5 for Moto, that's a really
That's a
strong
really
finish for him, definitely.
yep. And critically, he is the leading silver driver, and
Yeah, absolutely.
very good debut from AJ Sam, I must say.
Yeah, AJ Sam has shown pace in
Yeah.
in the other mock races and the practice sessions as well. So yeah, definitely a nice start for him.
Yeah, the AM class looks quite interesting actually. I mean, there's a lot of field spread, but after P3 in AM class, it's really tight as well. So I think it's going to be a very tight fight for P3 in the AM class as the season progresses, and I do hope these drivers stay back to fight.
Yeah, definitely, and of course, the coordinators will be keeping a keen eye out on some of the faster drivers if they are suitably placed in one of the splits or not. If we feel that one of the drivers might be too fast or too slow, we'll be moving them up or down
Yep.
respectively in the splits to
Ooh,
maintain
as
a
we
level
say
playing
that
field.
the lead is coming into the last corner, he is facing a little gaggle of traffic, but I don't think that's going to bother him too much. Let's see, does he go faster? Does he go slower? Let's see. And he crosses the line,
He
216.
goes faster.
Yep.
400s.
I
Damn.
think we have Sai Prithvi who's also coming across the line, and he shortens that gap, but he's not going to be enough.
Yeah,
And
he
Brucker is also on the way. He is coming through to Blanchimont right now. Yep. It's amazing. It's crazy that you're cornering flat out at Blanchimont at 260 kph in what is sort of like effectively a souped up road car.
Yeah, absolutely. These cars
Oh,
are
oh,
insane. Oh,
and he loses it.
yeah, probably, it's slight distraction maybe with the front car going in a bit deep to in the right hander. Maybe
Yeah.
he was looking to get away around or something like that. But yeah, that's end of quali for Prakhar. Faizan will be the last one to cross the line, and he does not improve his time. Stays P16 rather.
Oh my God, look at that. Davlish and Sai
Oh,
have said the exact same
same.
first at time.
Oh, wow, that's
And,
the
and
worst.
and that's I just realized that the Porsche has actually so people used to like bash on the Porsche for being so slow on the straight. And it's good to see that with the the new 992 GT3R, like the Porsche is actually competitive on the straight while not being, absurdly OP on the corners as well.
Right, absolutely. Like, it was sort of the only thing probably different from real life and in game, probably the Porsche straight line speed, because I have definitely seen clips of that Porsche, overtaking the Mercs and everything just on the basis of pure straight line speed. So, yeah, probably looks like it's getting closer to that real life Porsche level of handling and straight line speeds. But yes, as we see our top 10, we have Davlish, Sai Prithvi, Prakhar, and Purarav Gowda in the pro class having the top four positions. Moto and Deepak for the silver positions in P5 and P6. And 8 cylinders, another pro class driver this season finishing P7. Then we have the debutant AJ Sam in P8, followed by a real SD and an amazing debut for Flying Chapati as well, definitely flying for an AM class driver in P10. Then, if we can just have a quick run through rest of the grid. Yep, three drivers didn't set a time, but amazing
Yeah.
first qualifying session, I would say.
Yeah, and as you said, it's good to see a lot of variety on the grid.
Yeah, lots of cars.
Yep.
I would say the Ferrari has been quite popular within the AM class drivers,
Yep.
and the silver class, there's a lot of Astons probably. Yeah, 5 Astons. Babaji driving the Honda. That's probably the only, and Iceman driving this, of course, beautiful Nissan on screen right now.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
What is
that
it?
yeah, this
I, uh,
296 is beautiful.
yeah, I think we are not seeing a lot of custom liveries yet, and I think people will start throwing those in the next round and the round after once people realize that you can actually
Yeah, true.
pop your face on the bonnet of your car if you want.
Yep. Yeah, just waiting for race one to begin, and
Yep. So I'm curious, like if you look at Flying Chapati, I
yep.
cannot I cannot say that seriously, but yeah, he is quite far ahead of his AM class competitors, and I'm thinking, like from the pro class perspective, it's you have to stay in front, but from the AM class perspective, you don't really need to beat the guys in front. You just need to stay where you are.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. We always have been saying that you are free to race drivers from other class. But of course, if you feel the driver behind is way faster than you, you sort of give way. But yeah, you are once again fighting within the, splits itself for a championship, the pro, silver, and AM class.
yep, and you don't want. I think as AM class or silver class driver, and when you're in the thick of that pro class or silver class midfield, you don't want to trip over the other guys and end up in a worse place than you were.
Yep, true, true. And yeah, I think AJ Sam disconnected and he is in P last at the moment.
Oh yeah, if
Uh,
you disconnect in this ready up and if you reconnect,
Yeah,
you do get sent back. I feel
yeah, that's
absolutely
AJ.
gutted. I
And
feel
is he the
absolutely.
only beamer on the grid?
Yes, I
Yeah,
was gonna say the exact same thing
yep.
right now. And I just noticed that Ninja is in P28. And if I know one thing about Ninja, he's gonna make a very good fight back up to the front.
Yeah, yep, that is definitely true. Yeah, Baba in the Honda, AJ in the Beamers, those are the two outliers probably. And of course, Simply Sky, that's a stunning Merc. That looked really nice.
What's he done? Look, someone's a Vec fan. Dark Knight, interesting livery choice, but I think that's a default livery. Oh my god, I cannot stop laughing at that livery.
Of course, it simply who pulls it off.
Yeah, he is substituting for Nirma's livery, so
Yep. That's a nice clean Aston Martin right there by Turbo Juke.
the Banat, our resident influencer,
Yep.
Mr. Rot. Actually, good improvement to see. Mr. Rot seems to have improved a lot. It's good to see. From I think last season he was struggling quite a lot. So it's
Yeah,
good to see him.
he was struggling with the Lambo, I guess. So yeah, probably the new Lambo, slightly more stable and
And
stuff, making the difference.
Charleroi is on the grid with his wife. That is the BW team Merc. I don't think
Yep.
from what I can remember, I've never seen Charleroi not be
In a
in that
Duster.
car.
Yeah, haven't seen him in a different car when he's racing individually, the
Yeah.
bubblegum car.
Yep. Yep. And
But yeah, look at the top four. We have a Lambo, we have a Porsche, we have a McLaren, and we have a Bentley. Talk about a proper, diversification of the cars.
so something to bring to your attention is that starting in P1 in Spa is not always the nicest of things. First of all, you have the slipstream.
Yep.
Second of all, you're on the inside, which does not always set up the easiest of runs through Radion and Varouge.
Yeah, true. You are not on the optimum line. You want to be as
Right.
towards the left as much as possible to
It's
get,
entirely
a nice line.
It's entirely possible that P2 could get a better run than you, and could get you by the end of the straight. It happens quite often actually.
Yeah, definitely. As we approach the starting line, and we are racing. Green flag is there. Porsche seems to have a great run on the Vliet right there. They are going side by side. The Vliet gets the better of it and is in the lead. And there's this contact behind. This massive contact behind.
Oh,
That's
and
massive.
there is a car park over there.
That is my word. That is just people
That is
driving
Spa.
into each other. That is Spa, classic
This is
Spa.
Spa, folks. Let's go. And oh my god! And I see Pururov just misses breaking point there. Managed to avoid him, and that moves Moto into P4. Sai Prithvi and Davlish are staying close to each other. Prakar is right on the tail of Sai Prithvi as well, and Prakar kind of fancies a move in there. Prithvi staying close for now, but the question is when does Davlish start to move forward? But Prithvi staying quite close for now.
Yeah, the top three
Ooh.
have split up quite nicely as Worship the Panda goes ahead of Real SD.
Yep, and
And
flying Chapa, and a lot of AMP class drivers have moved up. I think silver drivers seem to have moved backwards. A lot of them. I
yeah,
cannot.
a lot of them.
8 cylinders has moved backwards. Does he have damage? Can we just go on board him? He seems to be clean, but seems to have lot of positions, and
Yeah,
yep, and this gaggle of drivers right now staying close to each other. Oh, big slide there, and Heisenberg is off the track, losing a lot of positions right there. Joins right behind Fuzzy Dunlop over there, and let's go on board the lead pack. I can see they're right behind each other. They're going to be
yeah.
slipstreaming all the way onto the bus stop chicane.
Yeah, that's the Starmax Mercedes earlier, who that was quite damaged. And we have two cars in the pits as we go across the start finish line. We'll take a look who were those two cars who were, part of that annihilation on top of the hill.
Yep, Koushik the Panda eyeing up a move on Deepak, but I think things better of it. Ooh, let's look
Oh,
at this.
there's another contact down there. That's
Ouch.
oh no!
That-
no!
Oh, that,
Oh
that,
my god!
Oh my god, who? And that's Supreme Kai.
Supreme Kai. That's a
Yeah.
heavy bonk.
Yep, and yep, this top three staying fairly close, and I think like maybe the 7/10 gap that Davlish dropped on Prithvi may not be that critical, because if
Yeah.
Prithvi can stay fairly close, he might be able to stay close with as we see that we can see Baba G fighting there with Supreme Kai and Senna 46. Oh, and huge contact
What?
as both Baba and Supreme Kai is out right there. Oh my god, that's gonna hurt. Oh, and
No,
that's
no,
more
again,
contact.
these watch for the yellow flags, lads. But
And
oh my god.
Spa always delivers. And as we have two cars going side by side there. Worship the Panda trying the move on Deepakraj. Will he get the better exit? Ooh, goes out a little bit wide and cannot make the move. and following him through Bruce and yep, looks like that move is done. But right behind him, we have Real SD and Logesh fighting there. Interesting to see, I think Logesh is far behind, but he's taking right at the tail of SD right now.
Yeah, absolutely. They seem to be going, really close by, and there seems to be massive amount of cars going into the pits for repairs. Yeah, a lot of them into the pits and coming out now. That's mind you, we don't have a mandatory pit stop or anything. It's just that starting lap carnage has taken its toll,
Yep.
and yeah,
So guess who's the biggest gainer on the grid?
let's see who has climbed up. Is
Check
it
who's on
Logesh?
P13.
AJ Sam. Oh yes! Oh my
All the
God!
way from P
From
last, he's
last.
up to P13. So that's almost 20 positions gained. That's
Yeah,
quite
that's
insane.
some climb. Yep.
Yep. Oh, a Real SD and Logesh. No, that's Logesh on the outside. Oh, that's going to be an illegal overtake. Yep, I think the stewards are going to have a nice look on that later. But as we say that, we can see 8 cylinders trying to move around the outside of Flying Chapati.
That's a brilliant move.
Yeah, there's a boy from Chennai, using all his traffic skills out there.
Yeah, absolutely finding all the gaps and the spaces and doing it.
Yep, and really now I have to move on SD right now. But that might get a bit tricky because the Aston is a bit slower than the Ferrari on the straight, so he might need every inch of that slipstream to get that move done. Now, Panda, I'm guessing this is round 3 on Deepak. And we have a few guys who are exiting the pits as well, which might start to spice up this fight. In the meantime, Real SD now going back on Logesh. Sharaluk joining the track back, slows down, make sure he does a entry. In the meantime, I think Panda is going for a dive on Deepak. Nope,
Yeah,
he
really
cannot.
close.
He cannot seem to make that move work. I can see them get really close, but that move is just not there for him.
Yeah, a lot of action. Especially just small reminder, do save the replay between races. We will watch what exactly transpired in the first lap. So yeah, but yeah, of course, a lot of action going on actually throughout the track. There are of course a couple of packs majorly formed. Some of them being lapped cars, the blue cars. And there's still people driving with a lot of damage as we see that on the Dark Knight's Ferrari. The front and the rear is, completely damaged, and that would be affecting a lot of the straight line speed as well.
I'm curious, would it be faster to finish the race damage or pit and continue the race, because this pit lane is really long.
Way too long, yeah. And I would say for a 20-minute race, if you don't have really severe damage, I would still say it's probably better off to just, continue with some damage.
Yep. And in the meantime, we can see that 8 cylinders has actually gotten the better of Real SD, and actually Real SD has dropped behind both Flying Chapati and 8 cylinders. But crucially, Logesh seems to have pulled a gap on 8 cylinders. So I wonder if there was an incident somewhere.
Yep, or there might be just the battle between the three guys you mentioned before might have caused him to get some time. But yeah, Logesh is driving really nicely.
And as we see that Panda and Deepak going against it at each other, I think this is going to be the lap, guys. Panda is right behind Deepak, and I think he's going to get him. Does Panda move to the outside to get a better exit? He does. Will he try the old switcheroo? Ooh, going really wide, trying to get that most optimal exit, but he might be a bit too close, and he might have a little bit of that dirty air affect him through Uruj. Let's hope that is not the case. Now on board Panda, 240 kph, 250 kph, going up Uruj, now going up Radion. Can he keep up with that Porsche through and get ahead of the Audi?
Yeah, he has the massive slipstream.
Yep, that looks to be the case. They're side by side. Can Deepak stick it around the outside of Lecombe? Ooh, big balls from Deepak right there. He's trying to go around the outside. And does Deepak do it? Does Panda do it? When Panda sends one around the outside, Deepak tries to get the wider line, get the better exit. They're still side by side.
A bit of contact.
Panda pushes him off the track, and Panda gets the move done in questionable scenarios.
Yeah, a bit of contact that forced Deepak to go on the grass, and that just meant loss of grip for him. And yeah, Panda gets ahead. Yeah, let's see how that move is counted, in Stewart's eyes if it goes to them. But yes, that was some brilliant racing from both of them. The Lecom till the first chicane of the track. Yeah, brilliant stuff from these two guys.
Yep, even Swagger Turbo with like a big we didn't notice this before, but Swagger Turbo in the amp class is also a big gainer here. I
Yeah,
think
he is
he
up to
was
P12.
yeah, I think it was around P13. I think it was around P20 something, and he's moved all the way up to P12. Quite impressive.
Yeah,
One more
definitely,
point,
and
I want to let you guys know that Swagger Turbo is driving on a controller.
Oh, and that is particularly impressive. And I think right now AJ Sam is eyeing up a move on Swagger Turbo right now. Although in the grand scheme of things, it won't have much impact unless he catches up to Real SD. But when they go side by side, are they going to go side by side through Blanchimont? Can he stick it around the outside? Nope, he's already ahead, and he gets the move done. And right behind, we have a lap car of Charles who might be eyeing up a move on Swagger Turbo as well.
ho, ho,
He
ho, ho,
goes
ho.
around the inside of,
Yeah.
almost takes out AJ Sam.
Yep. He is quite eager to get ahead right there, but of course he'll be
Yep.
receiving blue flags.
Yep. In the last lap, I just saw that SD set a lap time that was around 7 tenths faster than flying Chapati. So, is he going to fly past the Chapati? We'll know soon.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, just saw the time lapse of Charlalurk and Swagatavo, and I think Madhav was 2 seconds faster right there. So
Oh,
probably that's why he was quite, eager to get past him and
yep.
try to get a clean lap.
And we have 8 cylinders who is now closing up on Logesh. I think he was around 1.6 seconds back, and he's
Yep.
closed that gap to less than a tenth. So probably a move that's going to come sooner rather than later. But then again, and he's really just look at the difference in cornering speed that HL is carrying. He's really closed up that gap through going through Lacombe.
Yeah, he is flying. He is on a mission to get those places,
Right.
get the positions he lost.
Right.
And
For further up ahead, it seems like the top three have like settled into a even gap. I would say you can see that it seems like both the distance to from Davlish to Prithvi and the distance from Prithvi to Prakar is equal.
yeah, looks like it.
Almost.
Also, yep. Also, Moto has been quite impressive,
Yep.
staying in P4.
He seems to have made a leap since the last time he raced, and it's quite interesting to see. But seems like Purav is also keeping him quite honest right now. Moto, I think a mistake from Moto, and I think uh, Purav is going to get P4.
Yeah,
Although
true.
8 cylinders, it seems like 8 cylinders is really able to close up in some corners, but by the time he gets to Blanchimont, he's too far away from Logesh.
Yeah, he's sort of like just missing out on the slipstream that he can get from the car ahead.
Right.
But
And I think by popular request, our favorite livery is here. Who he is chasing down Star Max Lord right now.
yeah,
Huge incident. I wish that incident did not happen. It would have been nicer to see all the cars closer together, and hopefully in the next race they're able to keep it cleaner.
yeah, true. Lots of them driving around with damaged cars still.
Yep.
But yeah, it will be a good lesson for lots of these drivers, and it's important that they learn from whatever happened here. Not just keep on driving into that's a massively
That's
damaged bonnet of that car.
yep. The thing with Spa is that you're always at extremely high speed, and if you make a mistake, you often get snap, and most of the time when you snap, you're into a wall.
Yeah, true. That is true. Plus, the incident where the place where the incident occurred, Oruj, yeah, that's where the wall sort of narrowed down towards the right and top of the hill. So
Yep.
yeah, prime
Oh,
location as
huge
there's
incident between
contact and spin.
it's between Mamuka Admi and Baldy. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark on the Ferrari. Thankfully,
Yeah,
you don't pay for it, but yep.
he has RTG'd.
Yep. Hopefully these drivers do keep it clean for the next race. And 8 cylinders and battle with Logesh continues. It's kind of strange, Like I want to see where 8 is losing so much. Like right now he's right on the tail of Logesh, and it feels like he's going to make that move any second. Again, there he goes through Piff Paff. still staying close. Is this the time that Aetzel is going to be able to stay close? Or can he carry that speed through Stablo 1 and Stablo 2? Ooh, taking a lot of that inside curve. Ooh, and
Roller
a
coaster.
slight. But if he keeps it flat, I think this is going to be the next lap is going to be the lap where he's able to get Logesh, or maybe even this lap. Ooh, he's gaining 2 tenths right now. Coming through
He's gonna go for
Blanchimont.
the dive.
I think knowing Aetzel, he's going to get. Oh, and Logesh goes wide. Has to left to not get a track warning. And tries to go around the outside. Does he keep it? And he does. Gets the move done.
It looked like Logesh braked slightly early, and that just gave eight cylinders quite a golden opportunity to overtake him.
Yeah, but I think what happened was that basically Logesh went wide in Blanchimont and he had to left to not get a warning. And
Yeah.
he didn't adjust his braking point accordingly. And Aetzel just
That's
really capitalized on it.
Heisenberg spinning around trying to
That's
rejoin.
very reminiscent of Hamilton in Hungaroring 2012, I think.
Yeah, there's the spinning and just, a car just whizzing past.
Yep. And now this is tricky because Logesh could just come flying past Aetzel at this point.
Yep, he will have the run, and he looks like he is closing a tenth down, but yeah, just ahead.
Aetzel, now that he's out of that dirty air, he's able to now better manage his pace and take the line the way he wants. But Logesh has kept him a bit honest, to be frank, and it's actually quite interesting. When you're chasing someone, you can't really focus on where you're going, but the moment you overtake them, then you start to become very concerned about the driver behind. As we say
Why?
Why? And
My God.
that's between Fuzzy Dunlop and Banat. That's going to be a race ender for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, you can leave space on the straights. At least that was not so good example of racing right there. But yeah, that's instant damage for both of them. Panath is already struggling with the car, and yeah, I guess even Logesh had some mistake. He has fallen off 2 seconds now from its
I think he
cylinders.
had a mistake. Oh, and he goes wide again. Right, and this is allowing Flying Chapati and SD to catch up. SD not able to overtake Flying Chapati, but he has been right on his tail all this time. Oh, as we have Shawshank, who has had a spin there, coming into
And
Lacombe.
that's
Oh,
ABD.
Just miss.
Oh no, don't reverse that much, sir.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and
Another spin. I think he may have had an.
SSJ, what are you doing?
So many yellow flags all over the track. Everybody's dying all the same time.
Yeah, as we are coming to the end of this race, everyone is dying left, right, and center. Maybe a little bit some people have burned off their tires too quickly, and that's taking a toll.
Yeah, it was another contact.
I think that was just SD losing traction there, and SD is now right on the tail of Flying Chapati. Oh, he backs off a little bit. Maybe he backed off a little. That's a little too much. He's lost the chance of that overtake.
Yeah, he probably should have, just tailed off slightly, just on top of the hill, just after, maybe just before that. Sorry.
That was probably a little too much. Correct.
Yeah.
And that battle has now given Logesh breathing room again. Now, this is tricky for SD. If Flying Chapati catches up to Logesh, now SD is going to be third man in a slipstream train. And that's going to make it really tricky for him to do any overtakes.
Yeah, true. Plus, we're just 2 minutes 45 seconds to it. That means a couple of laps. Considering Davleesh, where is Davleesh? Davleesh is coming to Stavlord 1. So yeah, that's a couple of laps of racing left.
Yeah, I think we will have exactly 1 lap of racing left after this lap. And we see a spin again. I think Senna 46 has spun at Lacombe. Oh, and takes the... And he is carved out a course for the Spa rally along with that. Yep, I think Real SD is going to be eyeing up that move on Flying Chapati now. Flying Chapati seems to be struggling. SD seems to be doing a better job overall. In the meantime, Aetzel is also closing up on Deepakraj, but with a lap to go, that's nothing he can do. Yeah, and SD, I think he's being a bit conservative while following another car, which is fair play. And as we know, SD, he tends to go for the safest move. As Babaji tries to go on the inside of Dark Knight, and seems to get a
gets the
clear
move.
move. Yep.
Yep.
And SD is still on the tail of Flying Chapati. It'll be extremely important for SG to get bus stop right, because this is effectively his last chance to make this move. Oh, Flying
Yeah,
Chapati goes.
true.
I'm seeing a lot of drivers take that weird line through bus stop, and that's
Yeah,
kind of
probably
strange.
they're trying to maximize the exit. Probably that's why they're going slightly way towards the right.
I mean, if you look at the way Chapati took, he went really deep. I've seen
Deep.
a
Oh,
lot of.
yeah, that's another way. Yeah.
Yeah, that speed's kind of strange. Either way, now he's right. He's 3 tenths off Flying Chapati. He seems to be in a more comfortable gap. Oh, but that McLaren Evo, I think it's McLaren Evo. It does have a lot of torque, however. It seems to have pulled a nice gap through the exit of La Sauce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
And if
And
I
I think
was SD, I wouldn't be
and
caring much about the track limits on top of the hill right now.
right, and I think SD was not comfortable with taking Rouge flat. He had a left, and that's ultimately costed him.
Yeah.
Yep, and Puridav has made his way back up right next to Moto.
Moto, yeah.
There's a lap back. There was a second gap between them, and seems like I think Moto made a mistake perhaps, and he's now right behind him. Further ahead, Prakhar and Prithvi seems to have they've had the same gap for a while.
Yeah, they're set into their rhythm and just going it on with it.
Yep,
And
as we
that's Pururagada
and
going down the
oh,
inside. There's contact again. Purura spins and Moto carries on, and that's Panda going past Purura as well. He loses a couple of
yep,
positions right there.
and this shows why and it was actually completely unnecessary, because Pururav and Moto are not fighting for positions in their respective championships, and now
Yeah,
what's happened is Pururav has lost a position. As we say that Davlish is exiting the final corner, and will take the win for the first round in ACC Season 7.
yep. Great race one victory for Davlish Singh right there. And P2 should be Prakhar
No, it's
and
Prithvi
sorry,
who's
Sai Prithvi and then P3 for Prakhar.
Prakhar. Yep. And I think our silver winner would be Deepak right now. No, it's Moto.
It's
It's
Moto
Moto.
Moto, yeah,
Right,
it's
correct.
Moto.
It's Moto in P1, followed by Deepak, followed by Logesh, and our
Ye-
AM winner, I think, on his debut, is
It's
the
gonna
Flying
be
Chapati.
Flying Chapati. Yep. So
Yep.
a great race one for all
And
these guys.
I believe AJ Sam finishes very good P4 after getting sent dead last. Really
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. That's a great, overall finish as well, getting up to P12.
Yep. Swagger Turbo in P2 in AM class, if I'm correct, and Senna 46 in P14, finishing P3
P3
in AM class as well.
and plus, yeah, of
And
course.
yep, and a special mention to Babaji for his. I think he was involved in that huge incident in the first lap, and he has now climbed up all the way back to P15. I think that's P4 in class.
Yeah, P4, P5 in the class. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
And of course,
Yeah.
the overall, what should I say? What was I saying? I forgot. Sorry. Yeah, the of course the result of this race will set the grid for race two, which will be of 30 minutes. So still a lot to play for a lot of these drivers, especially those who were involved in
Yep.
the starting lap incident and the consequent laps. So still a lot to play for.
Now the question is, have they learned? Now that's what we need to ask.
Yep.
Yep.
They should, because of course, top of the hill. It was even mentioned in the briefing that top of the hill and bus stop are going to be two of the trickier corners, especially when you are bunched up. So I hope they learn the theory, they have seen the practical. Now let's see how they learn from both of these sets.
Yep. Looks like drivers are leaving now to join the next race server, but I think we still have a few drivers. Yeah, we have done. Yep.
Yeah, let's do save the replays. I would love to watch what caused that starting lap incident. Yeah, if we can. Yep.
Replays get auto saved, so yeah, it's nothing to worry
Yeah,
about.
that's fine.
Okay, I think we can go through the results of
Yep.
race one in the meantime.
Yeah, so Davleesh, Sai, and Prakhar securing the podium within the pro class and overall. Moto having the silver class win for race one, finishing P4. Panda finishes P5, followed by Purura God and P6. Deepak gets P2 in the silver class, followed by P8 for 8 cylinders. Logesh and Flying Chapati with brilliant debuts, finishing P9 and P10 overall. Real SD and AJ Sam finishing P11 and P12. Special mention to AJ Sam. I think he qualified P8 or 9. Had a disconnection, started dead last, finished P12. Then we have AJ Sam, Swagger Turbo, Center 46, and Babaji rounding off 12 to 15 positions. Then Dark Knight and Turbochuk, ABD, Shalalak, Ninja Zero round of our top 20, followed by Bharat, who had an incident. I guess a lot of drivers who are finishing the last 10 to 15 position had a lot of incidents. With I think up till Simply Iceman, who actually finished the race, and rest of them from Mamuka Admi P28 onwards till P32 had to retire. So
Yep.
yeah,
So predictions for race two.
uh, yeah, I would say the top three should be the same more or less. Maybe if regarding the 4, 5, and 6, I would say it will be a great battle between Moto, Pururao, Panda, Itzel, everyone out there. I would love to see Panda get back into the mix for top 3 if he gets a decent start.
I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that Prakhar is going to be P2.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah, that will be really interesting to see because Sai looked quite composed and consistent
Yep.
through whatever the times we could see from the timing sheet. Of
Now the
course, there was less on screen action for the top 3 during the race because lots of stuff was going on behind them.
Yep. Now the only reason why I'm saying that is because Prakhar and Sai Prithvi's gap remained constant after the first few laps.
Yeah,
So
true.
perhaps in the second race we'll see a closer gap and maybe Prakhar might be able to get ahead.
Yeah, quite possible. So yeah,
But
we
let's
are back with the replay of race one. Let's see how the things started and how things happened. That is the Aston Martin of 8 cylinders.
I
Yep,
don't think no, it's not HL because he did not. If he crashed into the wall, he would have to go into the. Is it?
that is 8 cells, I think. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yep.
So he is side by side with SD over there.
Yeah, I think he turned in. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
think
that's.
he kind of got bounced in. So in the due to the initial contact, he basically got pushed further inside. Like he kind of
Yeah,
bounced
true.
off SD there. Now HL is really put for this really awkward line, and he crashes into
Yeah,
SD again. This is
and
still okay.
behind, yeah, those two Mercs, they did a synchronized spin. I guess
Yeah,
that's where
correct,
it all started.
correct. I mean, this has nothing to do with the carnage behind.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
This
between
was just independent incident for itself.
it's yep, it's between Starmax and Charlotte here, I believe.
I think,
Charlotte going a bit
yeah,
wide.
there's a tap.
Yep, now there and oh my god.
Yeah, the Starmax just tapped the rear right
Right.
of Shalaluk and that just spun him around and probably that is what took everyone.
Yep, yep.
One, two,
Oh,
three,
and one,
four, five,
like it's like a game of bowling
six,
at this point.
7, 8, 9, 10,
And
11,
the thing,
12,
the
13,
crazy
14,
part is,
15.
crazy part is when you have a crash like that, you don't even see the crash happening until you cross the top of the hill.
Yeah, exactly. That is where, the probably the biggest danger of this
So,
track is you don't see what's happening on top of the hill.
let's go on board a victim and see what he exactly saw. I think let's go on board Banat.
Yeah, let's go on with Bernard.
Can we go on
P20.
board? P20, correct.
Yeah.
Can we go on the onboard view and replay it back? Let's go from the bottom of the hill. Can we go onboard? In cockpit, yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely nothing he could have done there. I mean, if like you would be paying, like you would be paying yeah, that's on suspension car. You would be paying attention to the car in the front or maybe car on the side. You won't be paying attention to 5, 6 cars ahead that are just out of your eyesight, spinning slightly. You won't be paying too much attention to that, and yeah, that's just nothing he could have done there, and probably that's what happened to other drivers following him.
Can we go on board Supreme car?
Yeah, seems like a nice
I
candidate.
thought I could replay this crash a little cinematically, so yeah, hence the.
Yeah, fair. Oh my God.
Yeah, calls for a nice trailer clip.
Look at this!
Let's go on board the IRC crew car. The one with Iceman.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I would like to see. I would like to see how it fell victim. All those beautiful faces. Had to come into contact.
Yeah, there we go. It's yeah. I think I can a better angle would. How about on
This can we go from the bottom of the hill just to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bottom of the
Yeah,
hill,
there's the spin ahead.
bottom of the pack. What can go wrong? Oh, 2 cars
He
ahead.
did break. He did see probably.
I came.
Having a nice day, braking, applying a throttle lightly. Nothing to see here.
Trying to make sure you
Where do we
find
go?
a
Visible
gap.
panic. This is the moment he knew he fucked up.
Oh, yeah. That's the moment
Again.
Masum also did. But okay.
Yeah, and that's Ferrari. That's Dark Knight's Ferrari, I think.
Yeah, it says
I'm gonna
hi
say
to
that-
the Banat. He literally faced into his car. If you guys didn't notice.
Can you play this Iceman's POV on board in real speed?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off there, Masum. What were you saying?
I think he could have still avoided it if he went all the way to the
Yeah,
right. If he was.
that's what I wanted to check. Can you go full speed? Onik?
Oh.
Yeah, he's not making it.
Yeah, yeah. Probably you could have braked maybe just him and the other cars, but yeah, that's if cars just bounce off here and there, you can't predict what's gonna happen.
Let's take a look at Banat's incident in the meantime. I think that's the other incident that I remember.
Yeah, on the start finish.
No, Camel Street.
Sorry, yeah, on the Camel Street. Who was the start? That was Supreme Guy and Babaji, I think, who had the start finish.
That was with the fuzzy Dunlop.
Yep. But I don't think it's getting updated here.
After this, can we go on AJ Sam's onboard for the
Oh yeah,
first lap?
definitely.
Right.
I wonder where it happened though.
I think it's okay. I think we are short on time, so let's go on board AJ Sam's onboard actually. Let's go lap 1. I'm guessing he kind of like backed off like 50 meters and just let it all happen. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, death, more death.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was some good reflexes right there. Oh, some contact,
Nice.
but yeah.
I think he had a bit of luck also going for him because the 2 cars in front of him also took themselves out. You see here this, I think that's ABD, if I'm not wrong, or it was Dark. Yeah, it was Dark Knight, and he had a collision with someone. Yeah, I think I can see here. Yeah.
That's the wall.
He went into the wall by himself.
Yeah,
He
he
took the
lost
Yeah.
control over the curb and just spun inside. That's all.
oof, and then AJ Sam. Yeah, just
Oh,
got tapped
okay.
slightly by
Think,
ABD.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's still
that's just Beamer build quality saving him.
this is not a what do you call paid advertisement by Beamer. Don't sue us.
Yep. Enough of that. I think we can.
This is
Yep.
yeah.
I think it's probably going to join.
Yeah, server 2 is backed up.
Yep. Server is back up. Right.
Should be under. It feels like a lot of stuff has happened over the past 20 minutes itself, and now we are on for the race 2.
Yep.
This is what you've been missing out on all the time while you've been driving and working.
Yes. The love is still there, but soon.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying as well. Soon.
Yeah, I think that's my car in the background there.
Yeah, there of course.
You were driving a Ferrari.
Yep. Yep. So I think something that we need to talk about is that the silver class competition effectively got wiped out because I think everyone except for Moto was basically wiped out of the silver class.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Logesh also managed to save himself. Yep, I think the server is up and I think they must be preparing for the race.
I think Kaki is taking a short break. I think I can fill in for him.
Yep.
Yeah, silver class, completely wiped out by that incident. Who was it again that caused the whole thing? Like the incident at least, what was it that caused?
So that was basically it was Charleroi.
I don't know, yeah,
It was-
Starlock and Star Max Lord.
Yeah, it was Starmax tagging Charleroi, and then the people behind just had no time to react at all. That's what ultimately led to the incident. And I think it's circumstantial and up the hill. Once an incident starts, it just keeps going on forever.
The classic Ray moment that IRC always keeps talking about, and it struck again here in ACC. Pretty unfortunate, I guess. Ashley does not usually, actually, now that we think about it, Ashley had a similar moment in Spa right here in last season too, where in the main straight, the home straight, he braked on the grass and then tagged someone in the rear and took them out. So, and again, history kind of repeats itself. I mean, he didn't, break the grass and tag someone again, but then he had a.
Yeah, I think it's too early to say it. Because caused by Ashley, I think. We'll know soon once the verdicts are.
It was caused by Ashley, but the incident nevertheless happened, but he was involved. So just not a good day for him, or maybe Spa's just not a good track for him. But we move on, and he's got a second chance here. So let's just hope that he can capitalize as much as he can as the countdown begins.
As we say, Spa is for some people Spa is like a very good hunting ground. For some people, Spa is like their nightmare.
Well, for me, people in the IRC people, they call me the merchant of Stabler, Spa merchant, because at least in F1 I was pretty good at it, at least until F1 2021. But Spa is one of my most favorite tracks in the whole game, because it's like the perfect balance of flowing corners and raw speed, 300, 330, 340 kilometers per hour going through the main straight. Very few tracks can replicate that kind of balance.
In the GT3 world, we consider Spa to be the perfect GT3 track because in the sense that in F1, these corners have gotten too slow. Most of them are not even corners anymore. But in GT3, they still remain corners, and it's generally considered to be a good balance between some cornering and having long straights.
Yep, true. It's got two very long straights. I think the gross total length of which would even beat the entire length of certain tracks in the F1 calendar. The F1 calendar, please. I'm not too familiar with the GT3 calendar. Very sorry about that. But yeah, it's the longest calendar overall in the F1 calendar, the longest track in the F1 calendar too. So that's also something that it's got.
And let's not forget, there's the world famous 24 hours of Spa.
Oh yeah. Well, I've not had the pleasure of experiencing that. I think was a disconnect by one of the drivers. I'm not sure who it was. It's a P6. Yeah, a driver from P6 is gone.
Are we in the
Can
race
you
or which to see?
I don't see him on track. Like the position itself is missing.
Are we in
switch the scenes?
Sorry?
Can you switch the scenes on Discord?
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about that. My bad. Yep. Other 10
yeah,
seconds.
he may have. I think Purira might have disconnected.
Yeah, that's Purira.
That's absolutely again for the previous silver class champion. Yep, and we go again. Now this always creates a tricky scenario where the driver behind him might get a drive-through.
Yeah, you need to maintain that position. Yeah, all these positions are getting jumped up.
Jesus.
Yeah, everyone going
I think
left,
it
right.
was season 5 Nürburgring. A bunch of drivers got
Yeah,
disconnects,
drive-through straight up.
drive-throughs.
Yeah.
Yep. Now we go again. Now Sai Prithvi had like a look last time on the evolution for through Rojan and Radion. Can he get a repeat of that this time? That's going to be. Can he do one better? And I feel like he's preparing for it. If you notice, he's staying really wide to the
Yeah.
left of the track.
What also is we do not get a repeat of the incidents, but yeah, here we go again for race 2. That's a nice start by Davlish again. The Porsche are trying to push him slightly wide, doesn't happen once again. Davlish gets the
You may want to
position.
watch Prakar here. Looks like everyone came through clean this time. No big incidents, but I think Prakar has a run on Prithvi here. He might be able to slipstream. Oh, there is a little bit of bump drop there. And Panda, the Sly Fox, he is right behind Prakar. Is he going to send one on the inside? Prakar tries to go around the outside. Oh, and he's gonna make it stack.
Oh my god.
Push Sai Prithvi off the track, and he takes P2.
Yeah, we have a yellow flag behind. That was probably ABD car number 28. But yeah, the guys up ahead are still going on quite closely. They are following each other quite well.
Moto sticking on. Panda, I think, gained a position back on Moto, and he is now. Oh, Panda goes really wide. It's going to take a warning there. Needs to be quite cautious of it. Deepakraj staying right behind Moto, and I wonder if Deepak is going to oh, Moto goes really wide. This could be Deepak's chance to get P1 in silver class. Can he? Is he going to send one down the inside of fifth up? Maybe thinks better of it. Thinks of the drive, tries to keep Moto honest through there. Right behind them, Lokesh is also keep rubbing his, that's 8-cylinder, sorry. He's keep rubbing his hands and waiting for that move. And as we see that, is that Swagger Turbo trying to go around the outside? As we have a sprint, Senna 46 gets all out of shape. Oh, almost takes out the
barely avoids, yeah.
Oh, and again, oh my god. And right, and as we say that, and again, another Lambo goes off the track. What is happening here?
Yeah, just people getting caught off guard, going here and there, and I would say that's a massive accident actually avoided. Just a couple of taps here and there. But yeah, there was
And going side by side is the shot look. And then he gets tagged by AJ Sam, and he gets spun around. And we have Turbo Chuck, who is now flying through that and gets that position. A lot of incidents in lap 1, but still somehow better than the last race.
Oh, what is so? Yeah, definitely far better. So
Yep.
far, fingers crossed.
The
So far,
the
it
the
has been better.
the the standard before this lap was quite literally under the floor. So good to see that.
Yeah.
As Akshay Shivani tries to go around the
Oh,
outside, narrowly avoids it. Hiesenberg keeps it around the outside. A lot of battling going here in the AM class, and Charolak a bit out of position here in P26. Are they going to go side by side through Oruj and Radion? Nope. I think Fuzzy Dunlop decides the best of it and decides to back out. AJ Sam once again getting ahead of, I think that's Turbochuk. Yep, that is Turbochuk. And further ahead, I can see Babaji is right behind Flying Chapati.
yeah, decent
Yeah,
battles going on all around.
I think
Bunch of 3 cars or 2 cars sticking close to each other.
Babaji qualified P28, and good to see him climb his way back up. As we see that Deepakraj is sticking on to Moto. I think last race Deepakraj struggled. Maybe he had a bit of damage. He struggled to keep in touch with Moto, but this time, Deepak is right behind him. Good to see.
Yep, true. They are maintaining quite a nice gap. Plus, it was lovely to see the 3 Porsches up front having a
Yep.
battle.
Can
And
we go to the battle for P2? I can see that Prakhar and we are quite close ahead. Okay, not that close, but close enough, keeping each other honest right now. And Panda right behind, and Moto seems to have dropped off and is now busy fighting off
Deepak, yeah.
Deepak.
Yeah, this seems like a nice battle. Deepak has a great slipstream right there. Let's see what happens through Blanchima and bus stop. Stays right behind, goes a bit wide. That might be a tracker warning.
Yep, and in the background, Babaji has gotten ahead of Flying Chapati and is now P11, moving into class P4. I wonder if he will be able to catch up to Location and get a class P3. Now, Moto is just really vulnerable right here.
Yeah, absolutely coming. He has to have, hope for some sort of mistake from Deepak and not do a mistake himself and get a nice run. Seems to have increased that gap slightly, but will it be enough as we end up to the first chicane?
Interestingly, Deepak chose an inside line and did not choose to go wide and get a better exit. He, for some reason, decided to stick on the inside. That may have costed him the move, but he has a very nice slipstream right here. As Sai Prithvi trying his everything to get past Prakhar, but Prakhar just inching ahead and staying in P2.
Yeah, he is placing that car beautifully right now. And Sai is also a bit, conservative right now, not trying to poke his car unnecessarily in places he shouldn't be. And yeah, they are going along with the flow. Still about 25 minutes to go in the race. So nice stuff going on overall.
Yep. As a wise man once said, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely.
Yep, as we see Babaji going on Logesh, he's now getting that class. He's fighting for that class. Oh, that's not Logesh, that is Swagger Turbo. Never mind. Yep. As we say that, yeah, huge gaggle of cars here. There we have Babaji, Swagger Turbo, and Flying Chapati. And Swagger Turbo was nowhere here, and he's now suddenly AM Class P1. And is he going to be able to fend off Flying Chapati and leave Spa as P1 in AM Class? That's going to be interesting.
That would be lovely to see if that does happen.
Yep.
Slightly wide, yeah.
Yeah, but he all goes on the grass, and I think it's quite easy to get a track limit warning there. Oh, and ABD is off the track and is doing a very wide turn. And as we see the 8 cylinders on SD is defending with everything right now. I think 8 is going to try and move around the outside, but SD squeezes him off the track. Oh, tries it. 8 has to go defensive. Oh, but he gets the better turn in, but SD gets a better traction.
Yeah, that's a nice move on. That's a bit of spin. That's Faizan.
That's Ninja.
That's Ninja. Sorry, yeah.
Can we go on board HL? I think they're on the move right now. HL right on the tail of SD. Can he get that slipstream? Can be on board? I would like to see how much of a slipstream he's able to get. Now, can he stay flat through Aruj and get the run on SD and take the second to last position in the pro class. Seems to get the better run through Oruj. Can he like get the slipstream? Stays in the slipstream. Oh, but look at the speed of the Ferrari. No, but he's able to stay there. Can he go around the outside of Lacombe?
Logesh has a drive-through. Meanwhile,
Oh, I think he might have exceeded the 4-track limits. That's 8. It loses the car
yeah.
and has to concede it back. Now Logesh might be cheeky there. Nope. And as we say that, SD is able to maintain that position.
Yeah, if I was Logesh, I'd be pressuring itself, even though I have a drive-through. But yeah, however time you can save, even though a drive-through here means pretty much half a lap down.
Among
So
other
yeah,
news, Prithvi has gotten back ahead of Prakhar. But if
yep.
they're fairly even in pace, we might be heading for a very heated battle here.
Yeah, the P2 battle is going to be really interesting. Davlish has gone off completely. He's 7 seconds ahead of the whole pack.
Yep. I
And
mean,
it's
if the rest of the grid is in Spa, Davlish is currently in Barcelona right now for the next race.
yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Panda falling off, but Moto also falling off, and seems like we're having a nice back and forth between Moto and Deepak going on in the background. And
Yeah, it's
go ahead.
yeah, a lot of battles going on between towards three set of cars. We have Sai and Prakhar up ahead, Moto Deepak right here. Then we saw Itzel and SD just behind these two guys, and a lot of battle in the midfield as well. I can see a lot of closely packed cars coming out of Stavila and now going through Blanchimont. So a lot of close battles, decently close battles happening.
Yep. Logesh immediately goes into service drive-through, and the drive-through here is a death sentence here. Panda has somehow caught up. He may be able to get a move on Prakhar here. Panda is having a much better second race than his first race.
Yeah, definitely. Probably just those slight taps when he had the racing incident with Deepak. Probably that might have, and of course, having to fend off two drivers behind him in race one definitely meant he wasn't driving up to the full mark, full potential of his. So yeah,
You
now
see,
he has the opportunity and is doing it. And yep, 8 cylinders and SD back at it again.
at this stage, they're going to let Babaji come too close, and that's going to be an
Yeah.
interesting dynamic. Faizan in P11, and he gets a move down on Swagger Turbo. I think Swagger had an incident because I can see some damage. Swagger tries to come back, but his car seems to be all over the place. Tries to go around the inside, but the Faizan seems to have the better of that. Gets the move done around the outside of Brussels. Going into no name. Yep, looks like. Oh, and Swagger is getting the better exit. Is he going to go around the inside of Puan? Doesn't seem so, as Faizan seems to get that ever so better exit. Oh, almost like kissing the back of that Ferrari.
Yeah.
Sorry, of the Aston. And he
And
goes really wide. He decides to, he's going to Germany and coming back at this point.
Yeah, and we also had car number 14 retiring. I wonder whose car that was. Saw quick, it looked like a
That's
Shawshank. Yep.
Yep, I believe he had an incident. AJ Sam also enters. I wonder what happened to him after that really interesting first race. It's unfortunate to see him fall back. Charlotte trying to
Yeah.
go around the outside of Dark Knight. Yeah, he did have that incident where he tagged AJ Sam, and he's now trying to make that way back. Of course, he does need. He's I think last in silver class, and he needs to climb back up.
Yep. So as it stands, it's Moto and Deepak, one and P2 silver class, and Flying Chapati currently winning the M class. As we still see Itzel and Realistic battling it out. This should give Itzel a nice run, probably a action replay of what we saw at the last lap. Slightly more gap to work with for SD. I think this gap should be enough to keep him ahead if he's still in next again.
So I'm going to call it and say that 8 cell needs to be at least within 2 tenths of SD, exiting Lesos to get ahead of SD.
Yeah, sounds like a fair time. Yeah.
Yep. Because it looks like the Ferrari, like he's able to barely keep up with the Ferrari even in the slipstream.
Yeah, this new Ferrari is definitely rapid on the straight. And with the slight sluggishness of the Aston out of the corners, the slow corners especially,
Yep.
that's not really playing into the hands of Itzel.
We have a spinner. I saw car number 50 spun at Oruj and is now back into the pits.
Yes.
Yep. Can we go on board car number 21? I can see the huge gaggle of cars, and there's a spin by car number 46.
That's Senna, I guess.
Yep.
That's Mamu.
Mamu Gatne spun there and now losing, and I can see a huge. Can we go on board car number 21? That is Turbochuk. 15. Yep. Can see a huge battle
nice
here.
train. Yeah.
Yep. Sticking close there. Charlotte trying to pick his way through these AM class drivers, and maybe 14 seconds to Ninja, who is the next driver in silver class. A tall ask, but definitely possible. It's still right on the tail of SD, getting that slipstream. He needs to maintain his good line through Blanchimont if he wants to get a new Sichviru done through Blanchimont here. Is he going to go around the outside? But SD always plays his car so well for bus stop. He's like, you cannot. Like, I think Eitzel has been employing this move where he has been dummying so many drivers around the outside of Blanchimont, but SD with his experience keeps placing his car so well that 90% of the time, like, Eitzel just cannot do anything at bus stop. Yep, and this time, as we said, he's now 2/10 within SD.
Yeah, I was about to mention this battle. We just saw Faizan having a spin, but yeah, Faizan, Mr. Roth, and probably that was Swagatava. Yeah, they were having quite a nice battle, which seems to be over right now. Car number 720. That's okay. No, he's alone right now, but yeah. And seems like SD.
SD is maintaining his
Yeah,
position right now.
yeah.
Yep, they're already passed. Yep, and that more critically moves Ninja up one position in silver class with the spin from Faizan.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and it looks like Moto has been able to get his pace back up, and he's now pulling a gap on Deepak. These shots are always amazing. Where they go side by side through the straight. It's always through the Mistral straight. That's Mistral straight. That's in Paul Ricard. Anyway, Camel straight, correct.
Camel straight, yeah.
Yep, getting those confused. Yes, and yep.
Yeah,
and this is.
And again, this battle is going on quite nicely, and Itzel has gone ahead of Real SD finally.
Yep, I would like to see that move because it seems like he really had to work for that particular move there.
Yeah, looks like it. He was behind him for almost 3 laps now, but finally gets ahead and has pulled off immediately. Yeah.
Looks like now I'm going to place my bet that it's going to be able to move closer towards Deepak and Moto with 15 minutes to go. That's like almost 75% of the race towards of the race 1. I think that is enough time for Eitzel to perhaps move closer towards Moto and Deepak. And I think Moto I think as like a lap ago was a second away from Deepak, but now he seems to have made a mistake and fallen right back into Deepak's hands. Yeah. Is Deepak going to send it down the inside? When Moto gives him the space, but tries to go wide, gets a better traction.
Yeah, no! Oh, why?
Oh my God! What just happened there? And that takes out Moto from the lead of silver class.
That Porsche just flew after banging into the wall, and that's a lot of damage for Moto. Not gonna be up to pace at all right now, and clips the grass. Can he avoid the wall? No, he taps the wall on top of the hill.
Hopefully no one
else
crashes into it.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Oh, that moves a lot of people up. I think that moves Baba G into P2 in silver.
Yeah.
Yep. And Ninja is into P3 in silver.
And Baba spins as we we were discussing, he moved into P2, he falls back right down.
Is Ninja, and Ninja goes into P2 in Silver.
Yeah.
Silver is having an absolute field day right here. I'm gonna call it.
Oh, absolutely. What transfer there? I mean, that Deepak, I guess Deepak thought he was clear and just, moved towards the left, and that just took Moto out.
Yep, there's this ever so tiny kink in that straight, and that catches a lot of people out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. But yeah, unfortunate to see a great battle end that way. In the meantime, we can still see that Prakhar is right on the tail of Sai Prithvi. Well, maybe not right on the tail, but they're quite close enough. 9/10, and for Prakhar, it's all about closing that gap down, moving it a tenth at a time, and maybe make a move at the very end of the race. For Sai Prithvi, he cannot afford to make a mistake right now.
Absolutely. Prakha will be, just pouncing upon any mistake that he does. And this is probably the, where this battle will probably bring the best out of both of them, giving them lots of time to get used to the cars and, bring back to their prime racing competitiveness, probably. It's been a long time we have seen these two guys going at it, and that's Moto once again in the wall. He's definitely struggling with that car right now with all the
He
damage he suffered.
he needs to be in the car hospital,
It's
aka the pit stop.
yeah. He needs to go into the pits.
Yep. And as we can see, it's now on the trail of Deepak, but I think Deepak will be safe because Audi does have ever so slightly better straight line speed than the Aston. And I think the same rule applies where either HL has to make the move at unorthodox places, or HL, or HL will need to be really close up on that exit through Radeon. Yep, Deepak once again trying his best to stay within, to keep HL behind. Babaji with the DT now, and that is his race went from from the Eiffel Tower to ground level really quickly.
Yeah, this P2 and P3 in silver class looks like a curse. It looks like the cursed positions right now.
Now, I think we need to apologize to the drivers for placing the commentator's curse on them.
Yes, Deepak was slight squiggly a couple of turns before, and that has meant Itzel is right besides him as they approach now Stavelot corners, and Deepak is slightly ahead. I guess Itzel is gonna prime himself for the bus stop right now.
I don't think he's close enough. I think HL will try the Camel, or I think he will try for a bold move somewhere in S sector 2 like he did on SD.
Yeah, yep. Is he gaining? Nope, looks like it's the same gap right now. Close. Now he's close. Will he go for it? No. Decides to stay back.
Deepak goes a bit deep. HL is going to get the better traction out of the bus stop. But I think, this is going to be quite interesting now coming into the Camel straight. Can HL get that run on Deepak? Deepak goes on the inside. HL going for the switchback. Gets the better traction, and he seems to be not bogged down too much by the Aston's turbo lag there. And if he does this right, he should be able to get this move done on Deepak, or at least be side by side going into Camel, flat out through Uruj and Radeon. Deepak goes a bit wide, may have to left or take a warning. Now coming, can he get that Aston? Can he be side by side? He gets a slipstream, 270 kph, 272 kph. Is he going to go down the inside? Deepak goes on the outside, tries to defend on the inside, but no, it's in slides wide. Oh, but he should be able to keep the position. And there he has P7. It does not matter for his points at the end, as they're different classes, but important nevertheless.
Yeah, that was a four-wheel drift from Itzel right there.
Yep.
Managing to keep it in place and gets ahead of Deepakraj, climbs up to P5, that is. I don't know why it's 27, but that should be P5.
Can we go on about P2 and P3? P2 and they're fighting, right? Oh, and Sai have had an incident.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! And they have had an incident, and I think we would like to see the replay and see what happened between the two. But and that has led Panda into P2 with that incident. It looks like we have cursed the place of commentator's curse once again.
Yep, Panda climbs. Panda rather gets P2 right now because of the mistake or incident between Prakhar and Sai Prithvi. And now it's that is okay. Panda is right ahead of Prakhar. Yep.
Yep. I don't see much damage on Prakhar, but I think Sai Prithvi is quite severely damaged. His car seems to be sliding all over the place. So yes, that's an unfortunate end to that battle. 7 minutes to go. That should be around 4 laps for the race to end. And yep, and I think Panda is probably going to be like having a smile as wide, like extremely wide right now because he's just gotten like the two positions effectively for free.
Yep. True.
Yep. I think SD is now closing up on Deepakraj right there in P7.
Yeah, there's a nice train coming towards the back straight as well, although there might be a bit of gap. But yeah, going through Blanchim, all those four drivers. But yeah, as we are on board, Deepak, who pulls ahead of 8 cylinders quite easily on the straight.
Oh, Deepak is back ahead of 8 cylinders.
Yep.
Oh my god, what happened there? Yep, and looks like he's gonna have to make the move all over again. Oh, look, 8 cylinders just four-wheel drifting all the time in the entry through Lecom.
Yeah, absolutely. His, driving right there has been a bit squiggly all over the place, just drifting everywhere.
Yep. On the map, can we go on board car number 9? I see a huge strain at car number 9 onwards. Yep, Supreme Kai Turbochoke. I think this group has basically been together the entire race. And Charlurk, I think, was part of this group, but he seems to have overtook them and pulled a nice gap. And Charlurk is closing in on Mr. Rot. Is it Rot or
Yeah,
Rout?
Mr. Raut. Yeah.
Rout, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think, yep, and Faizan right behind Swagger Turbo as well. And Ninja Zero seems to have secured a fairly safe P2 in class.
Yeah, in before the curse takes place, but yeah, he is in P2.
And Dark Knight is right behind Mamuka Admi. I
Yeah,
think,
Baba has been disqualified. Did he speed into the pit lane? Looks
I
like it.
think he got a drive through and he decided
Yeah,
not to
I
serve it.
think he
And
just sped into the pit lane
yep,
probably
Senna
and is
46
disqualified.
and Turbocho going side by side. They almost stick together like a sandwich. And Senna 46 trying to go around the outside but cannot stick it, and Turbochuck manages to keep it down the inside. And Senna 46 is abruptly breaking there. Strange. Yep. And right behind them, Baldy still like hovering close and is waiting to get those two positions at any mistake these two make.
Yeah, can we go on board Logesh? Oh no, Logesh had a drive-through, right? So yeah, that's
Right.
why he's
Yep.
P19.
P19. Yep. Charlotte, where is he now? He is coming on to the camel. Onto the sauce. He's probably going to be sizing up a move on Mr. Route and through the camel straight. You see, the last lap he was a second faster than Mr. Route, so it is just a matter of time before he's able to get that move done.
Yeah, just almost 3.5 minutes to go, so not a lot of laps racing left.
Oh, Swagot,
Uh,
that was a bit of
Cuts
contact there.
across.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the incident was between Prakhar and Cypress B.
Preference, yeah.
Yep. Looks like that incident has costed Sai. He's falling back, but Prakhar, it's a question of whether or not he can get ahead of Panda. I mean, he's probably gonna. I mean, we don't know if he's gonna get a penalty or not at this point, but he probably wants to be ahead of Panda regardless.
Yeah, and anyways, it's nice to see Panda up into the podium positions, taking full advantage of what transpired between Sai and Prakhar ahead of him.
Yep.
Uh, Yeah, Praka seems to be quite close. And right now, Moto gets a drive through.
I think he already had a drive-through, and he just
No, he
returned to the.
was. He had damage and had gone to the pits, right? And probably now has another drive through to his name.
OS Pragar is now
Oh,
tagging Panda right there. Ooh, and this battle for
he's
P2
doing absolutely
has
well.
just spiced up a lot.
Yeah, just one lap to go after this, I believe. Yeah, should be
Yep, yep.
this. This should be the last lap.
I think we'll have a lap more
One
because
more lap. Yeah,
one
one
more
more
lap,
lap.
given that Davlish is 20 seconds
Yeah,
ahead. Yep, yep. And Panda going side by side with Prakhar. Is one of them going to back off? Panda tries to go around. Prakhar decides to back off. Is he going to get the better exit? Will he be able to get ahead of Panda? I don't think so. So that means that Prakhar will effectively have one last chance to get ahead of Panda.
let's see if he does it and backs off right now. Panda is decently ahead at the moment.
Yep, yep. I can see a battle going into Piff Puff. That is the chicane after Tuan. P28, if I'm correct.
Senna now gets a drive through.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
that's
with the longer race, people are having more opportunities to get the drive-throughs, and we're really seeing that.
yeah. Plus, especially I guess it's 2 or 3 corners. Especially we have Oruj, then exit of Puhan as well. A lot of drivers tend to go wide. And yeah, even the bus stop exit, if you are really pushing it, you might go wide towards the exits. Some corners here where you can, get the stars out of the white line and get
Yep.
the drive-throughs.
Parker staying close on Panda. I think he's not going to wait. I think he's going to go for that move in Blanchimont itself. Or going into the bus stop. He seems to be really close. 2 tenths. He just needs to maximize that slipstream, and he will be able to, I think, be side by side or be within a range of a dive bomb into the bus stop. Maybe he'll think
Tablish
better.
has begun the last lap, and will he go around the outside? A bit of contact right there. Panda manages to stay ahead. Prakar did fancy a move around the outside, but probably didn't have the advantages line,
I think
and decides to stay back.
he should have waited. Now with that, there's no way he's going to be able to close that gap coming
Yeah,
into
and
Camel.
Prithvi is right back into the mix.
Right. So 5 tenths, I
Last
don't
lap
think
shootout.
5 tenths. I don't think that is really enough to make a move at Camel. Maybe he'll have a chance once again at the end of Blanchimont.
Yeah, Saga Turbo. Saga Turbo has a stop go 30. So,
He's fed into the pits.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's been interesting so far because we've had these small. The field spread could be better, but you can see these small groups of people who have now formed in. And as far as the winner is considered, I think. Oh my God, Panda has a
That was
moment
a
there.
wild turn. Yeah.
Yep. He needs to avoid those. If he wants to keep that position, he needs to avoid those and keep it steady. Because every little weakness he shows, Prakriti is going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, even Prithvi right behind, just sliding across that corner.
Oh, and Prakhar goes wide, goes really wide. He's really pushing to make sure that to get that P2 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As again he goes out. He's raking up the warnings, I believe.
Yep, I think he probably doesn't have any warnings, and at this point he wants, like every inch of it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Panda goes wide. Prakhar. Oh, Prakhar has to back off there.
Yeah, right close to him. He pulls decides to stay back.
Oh, and Prakhar spins and Prithvi goes ahead. And oh my God! And that Prakhar loses speed and he goes wide. Oh my God! And there he goes into the wall. Oh, and that means it's a Porsche at 2-3.
And yeah, Davlish crosses the line,
wins.
finishes P1. Oh no. Really unfortunate right there for Prakhar. He is still on track, still driving, but that's
That's going to be
hard done.
Yep, heartbreaking for him, that one. And That means Panda now crosses the line in P2 and Prithvi right on his tail crosses the line in P3.
Yeah, amazing finish right there for these guys.
Yep, I think. Yep, and Prakhar crosses the
Deepak
line
and
and it's still behind Deepak, but does not matter in the grand scheme of things. And SD 4 seconds back. I think SD did not get much practice, and I think he's going to be back quite strong for the next race.
yeah,
Yep,
absolutely.
yep. And we have our AM class P1 coming through, which is the flying chapati. It would be interesting how whether a move to silver would be considered for him.
Yeah, absolutely. The coordinators will be looking at it for sure. And let's see how things go
So
on for
Swagger
him.
Turbo have a 3-minute penalty.
Yeah, if you don't serve a drive through or any penalty, it gets added as 160 seconds.
Yep. Baldy coming through, and I think who's P2 in. We can go to the grid anyway at the end. But yeah, this group,
Yeah.
I think they have basically been inseparable. The Baldy, Supreme Kai. I think Senna 46 had an incident, but he was also part of this group, and they have
Yep.
now fallen back. And Baldy getting the better traction, but not enough to get ahead of Supreme Kai. Finishes P14. I think that is P4 in class. Logesh finishing, I think this is P3 in class. We did not jinx Ninja, and he maintains his position in class. So that's good to know. ABD finishes in Puan. He seems to be
Eh,
having a nice burnout session on his own. And
Exit AVD maybe.
yep, P13 Swagger Turbo. Oh, he's already finished his days, but he seems to be just going around in circles.
Yeah, looks like that.
Yep.
So we had Davlish, then Panda and Prithvi finishing the pro class top three and top three overall.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, that was quite nice from these. Of course, that last lap battle. Unfortunate, quite unfortunate for Prakhar, who
Yep.
ultimately finishes P4.
Uh,
Uh, yeah,
right. Can we quickly, before the interview start, can we quickly go on the replay and see what happened between their first incident?
Incident was it again?
Just check when Prithvi falls behind Prakhar. Just
yeah,
check the lab.
probably,
Just check the lab before Panda comes into P2.
yeah, probably 3 laps before the finish, something like that.
It was probably like lap 5 before. Next
Yeah.
lap. Yeah, it should be. Just go back.
Oh,
Oh, okay, let's go back there. Yep. Oh, as Prithvi has a moment there coming through Puhan, and he is now. Oh, he again has a moment. This allows Prakhar in, and Prakhar now tries to go around the outside and oh my God,
Uh,
Prithvi just I think outbreaks himself, and that's an
yeah,
incident and a half right there. Ouch! That must hurt.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Prithvi just broke way too late for that corner. That's what led to the incident. Yep.
Yep, looks like that was the key issue. Ah, yeah, and just collected Prakhar on his spin.
So we have news here. Apparently, Davlish took out one of the back markers. So it's going to be interesting. I think maybe we might have a little bit of post-race drama.
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
the
Probably if it's gonna be lots of penalties or what, but I guess the leash was quite clear even with a lot of
Yep, yep,
penalties coming his way.
yep, yep.
Yeah. Can if you can just give me a moment, guys. Masoom, I'll be back. In the meantime, I will drag the overall finishers, I think, and the class-wise finishers as well, who I believe are Davlish,
Uh,
Panda, Prithvi, Deepak, and uh, Chapati.
okay, sure.
Yeah. I was just having my dinner and all this time, and suddenly I have to go wash my hands too. That's why I'll just pull as many people as I can.
All right.
Uh,
Hello.
yeah.
Hello. Yep.
Sorry, I was AFK.
Yep. I think we're just waiting for Panda and let me. I don't think I can pull in Panda. Can I? I can. So let me just pull in
Yeah, I don't have
Panda.
access to his VC. It's up to you.
Let me pull in Panda. Why can't I see the? I cannot pull him into this PC. So can you?
I can't see which VC he's in.
I shall move him to chat room, and you can move him
Yeah,
to
please do.
here. Okay.
We just have Deepak left to join,
All right.
and then
Okay, let's start with the podium interviews. So let's start with P3 in Pro Class. Sai, Prithvi, I think like first race, of course, I think it was fairly straightforward for you maintaining P2. I think in second race, I think we saw Prakar improve, and you guys basically battled all race long. And there was an incident, and like take us through how you felt, what led to the incident, what happened in the incident, and how you were able to keep your focus after the race, after that incident.
So basically, race one was okay. My pace was fine. I really was happy with my pace in race one. But race two, I mean, actually, at the end of race one, also, I started noticing that my tires were falling off after after the 15-minute mark. So I was trying to save tires for race two, but obviously that backfired, and Prakar was got on my rear, and even in the start, at the start he kind of pushed me in the camel straight. That threw me off a lot. Then afterwards, he went wide in bus stop, and then completely cut the chicane there. And then coming up to the incident, I went wide in Puhan. I almost spun out myself. Then got myself back when we were going to the next corner. I was on the inside, so I wasn't sure. I saw the replay, but I wasn't sure if Prakash turned in too early on me or I turned in too late, because I was completely on the brakes. I could not turn right at that point. The line was too tight for me. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure whose fault that was, but nevertheless, the fault is on my side with the pace. Or otherwise, that would have never happened.
yeah,
So
that's yep. So it's all I can see that you're always self-critical, and hopefully like next race, I think you would also want to like do better individually, and I think you would also want to beat Devlish. So I think just a few words on like how you plan to like improve on that.
yeah, actually, I just got a new wheel, so I'm actually pretty tired after both races. I have a Moza R5 upgraded from a G29, so I'm still getting used to it. It's only been less than 2 weeks since I got it, so I have to get used to it as soon as possible. Really enjoying this wheel. I think it unlocked a lot of my potential that didn't have before, and hopefully I can improve slowly throughout the season and hopefully have some luck with Davlish at the end of the season, probably, that I can fight him. Not expecting to fight him anytime soon, though.
All right, then I hope we'll see you again in Barcelona. I think that's next week.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And coming on to P2 finisher Panda. Panda, exactly. I think you yourself had very little preparation for this race. And how did you feel when you saw the incident? And
I I would comment on this. I did not have any preparation. Rather, I was just winging it, and I in the first race it was straightforward. I mean, I had a battle with Deepak, and then not much later on, and then the same thing happened. I think it was Moto and Pururav Gowda who collided, and then I got one position there. In the second race, the first half, I was like, okay, I maybe I can keep up with these guys ahead, and just wait for an incident to happen again. But I just kept falling back like 6 seconds, and then something like that, 6.5 seconds, and then these guys collided. So I got the position. In the end, I think I had to do some parking maneuvers to keep my position from Prakhar. But yeah,
Yep.
overall, I think it's a great race for me with zero preparation.
Yeah, man, I think especially in the last when once Prakhar was behind you, you were doing a great job making sure that making that Porsche as wide as you possibly could.
All over the place, but yeah, I had to do something.
Yep. And now moving on to the winner of overall and the pro class, Davlish, I think there was no surprise that you finished in P1, and I'm guessing that you also did not prepare too much. And
Um, Not too much, but yeah, still a small amount of preparation was there, obviously. But yeah, not a lot to say, honestly. I was expecting at least Prakhar or Sai Prithvi to be a bit closer, but I don't know.
well, hopefully the BOP will be with them for the next race.
Yeah, actually.
Yep. And I heard you had a small incident with the backmarker in race 2, I believe.
Yeah,
So
so I crossed the finish line and just tried doing a 360, did not notice the car ahead. I rammed into the wall and then couldn't stop, and I just hit maneuvered. Uh, it was ABD, I think.
ouch. Okay. And anyway, a great race from you. Absolutely dominant. And I think in a few weeks' time, like people are going to be like right on you, and hopefully we have an exciting season to look forward to
Masum, you
Definitely.
need to race, bro.
Yeah, you need to race.
soon.
Who is gonna fight the leash, bro? Come on.
Yeah,
Panda,
you definitely need some good fighting up in front.
you can do it, Panda.
No.
Right. Now moving on to silver class P1. Deepak, I think you had you were basically battling all the way with Moto, and then you had that incident, and then after that you had a battle with Eitzel, and I think there was not a single moment in the race where you were you basically had your hands full the entire race. So yeah, what's your take on that?
Yeah, you were not wrong. I mean, I don't know. My motor is really rapid in race one, but race two, I don't know what happened. I mean, I was also trying my level best to fluster him with some mistakes, which I was forcing, but I just couldn't capitalize on that. And yeah, that incident was really unfortunate. I mean, I tried to make the overtaking difficult. I held my line, but I think motor thought he had cleared my car and tried to cut across. But anyway, I think that's up for the stewards to decide. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it was a really good race. I really enjoyed it, and it's never a boring race when you got cars to fight. That's the whole point of racing. So yeah, definitely had a lot of fun in this.
Yep, that's good to know. And I hopefully like what do you say? I think that means that you will be exiting this race leading silver class, and I hope that you have a exciting season up ahead as well.
Yep, really looking forward to it. We'll see. I hope it was all good in the com side as well. And apologies for the delay at the start. There were a few hiccups at the entry list. So yeah, thanks for sticking through.
Yep. And I think that's the end of our. Oh, and I think that's your incident that's caught on stream there. Yep. And I think that's it for our first round of ACC season 7. And thanks to all those who joined in the stream tonight. And that's us signing off for the day.